Here's another podcast that you must listen to right now. Built to Last is a podcast by American Express that highlights the stories, history, and continued legacy of Black-owned small businesses that shape American culture. In honor of Black History Month, American Express is continuing to shine a light on these Black-owned businesses with the release of a special episode highlighting the first known coffee vendor in New Orleans in the 1800s and Sippin' Sonder, a community and well-being focused coffee shop in Inglewood, California. If you haven't already, check out the debut season of Built to Last and see host Elaine Welteroth explore how the Black business leaders of our past have inspired today's Black-owned small businesses. Check out the debut season of Built to Last on Spotify, Apple, YouTube, or wherever you get your favorite podcast.
You know, I believe there's nothing better for the soul or your imagination than an inventive, thoughtful, surprising short story. And funnily enough, I read one aloud every week on LeVar Burton Reads. Season 8 is out now, and as always, it's me, LeVar Burton, reading my favorite short fiction aloud with soundscapes and music. Listen in Stitcher, Apple, the SiriusXM app, or wherever you get your podcasts on.
A good word with Kirk Franklin. Every sector of our lives is pretty much under construction. Family, under construction. Career, under construction. Relationships, under construction. Emotions, I know mine live under construction. Finances, under construction. We might as well be under construction together. Welcome to Under Construction with your girl, Tamar Braxton. Have you ever just woke up excited about life? Like for some reasons you just can't explain? It's crazy because it's been a long time since I had a morning like that. But y'all, today, it just felt so good to hop out of bed with a real smile on my face. I'm still giddy and cheesy and stuff. And the crazy thing is that I don't even know why I'm so freaking excited. I literally had to tell God earlier, I don't know what you up to, but I am here for it, okay? Yes. Ooh, I love waking up like this. You know what else I'm here for? These walk it like I talk it videos y'all been sharing. Oh, baby, they are cute. And so this week, we're going to start sharing some of the videos. So if you haven't joined the challenge, there's still time to submit your pics or videos. So now, for those who might not know what the Walk It Like I Talk It challenge is, it's a month-long challenge created to support good heart health because February is American Heart Health Month. So I'm inviting all of my podcast listeners to join me in our Walk It Like I Talk It challenge. All you have to do is send me pictures and videos of you listening to Under Construction while walking it out. Just poke your pics or video to IG and tag ucwithtamar or email it to ucwithtamar@gmail.com. That's the letters ucwithtamar@gmail.com. All right, y'all, it's time for this week's affirmation. Are y'all ready? I'm ready. On today, I am ready. Here we go. Today, I approve of myself fully, and I love the person that I am. Oh, hey, baby, you heard that? Yes, there's nothing like self-love, and most importantly, acceptance of who you are. So come on, y'all. I want y'all to say it with me. You know how it go. You ready? Today, I approve of myself fully, and I love the person that I am. And that's on period. Yup, that's on Mary and her little lamb. Okay? Okay, y'all, I'm no sports junkie, but this week I want to share my take on All-Star Weekend 2021. Now, I'm not sure if y'all remember this, but initially the NBA said that All-Star Weekend would be canceled. Well, that ain't the case no more. Now it's confirmed to be on and popping in Atlanta on March 7th. Now, here's what I want to know. And maybe it's just me, but did it seem like the Super Bowl stadium was super packed this year? I mean, I know it was outdoors and stuff, but are we just disregarding the safety of others at this point? Ain't no Cororo, right? Is that what we saying? No, it is Cororo. They tripping. Why is it now okay to gather folks for sporting events if we was in the house quarantining for the past year and a half? Somebody got to make it make sense to me, okay? So if it was cool for the NFL, I guess the NBA was like, well, I guess it's cool to collect our coins too. I don't know. That just sounds super irresponsible. And I just want y'all to be safe if y'all gonna go. But I'm gonna be at home. So I guess my words of advice for everybody racing to be in them Atlanta streets next month, please be safe. And I know I normally give a few pointers, but this ain't, I'm sitting this one out. And I'm gonna sit this one out at home, okay? And you know what makes sense or what does not make sense for you. So I'm just gonna say, use your best judgment. Okay, well, there you have it. That's, my Tamar takes on the All-Star Weekend. That's that. All right, I'm finna keep it a thou. Baby, it is all me. All right, y'all, it's time to tap into that Keep It a Thou inbox and pull out a few questions for your girl. Now, let's see what we got today. All right, question number 1.
Hey, Tamar, I need help with my marriage. I filed for divorce, but dude won't leave me alone. Now he wants to work on it, but I don't. I'm over it. Do you have any advice for me?
Nope. I ain't got no advice, girl. I'm divorced twice. Why people coming to me with relationship advice? I can't get it together. I mean, you sure you want to listen to me? Okay, well, let me take a stab at it. So you done filed for divorce, but he won't leave you alone. Oh, you got to go to the popo. That's it. Or you tell your lawyer, he won't leave me alone, and then put the restraining order inside the divorce decree. Anybody got time for that? Okay, question number 2.
Hey, Tay, how do you let go of the past when you're constantly being reminded of it?
For me, letting go of the past is a decision. I mean, you're going to be reminded, because you have memories, right? But once you make the decision to really, truly, and honestly let go, those memories won't even faze you anymore. So you have to be real with yourself and be firm on your decision. I'm letting go of the past, and those things will become obsolete. Yo, today's Keep It a Thou hit a little different. Y'all asked me questions that made me think about some difficult times in my life, okay? Well, I hope you all are able to benefit from situations that I've grown from, because y'all know I love to share my thoughts and opinions. So if you'd like to have your questions answered during an upcoming episode of Under Construction, shoot your girl a note to ucwithtamar@gmail.com. That's the letters ucwithtamar@gmail.com. I don't have all the answers, but you can count on me to keep it a thou. But up next, we're going into the blueprint. This is the blueprint. Come on, y'all. Let's go. When most of us think about the lives of celebrities, we rarely take the time to understand who they were before the fame and the fortune, right? But did you know that 16-time Grammy Award-winning artist, songwriter, producer Kirk Franklin was abandoned by his mother, but nurtured by his aunt, who saw the musical anointing that God has blessed him with? And though she really didn't have the money to invest in his talents, however, where there was a will, there was definitely a way. And she made a way. She gathered and recycled aluminum cans to pay for Kirk's piano lessons. And that investment and nurturing helped groom the man that we all love and see today. I say all that to say that when you truly pull back the curtains, there's something that we all have been through, and it's a part of our under construction journey. I'm so happy to have my dear friend, Kirk Franklin, join me today. Welcome to Under Construction, Kirk.
I'm humble. Thank you for having me.
Kirk.
This is super dope.
How was your family? How's Miss Tammy?
Tammy's beautiful, man. Tammy's great. She's my hero. So.
Yeah, why do you say that?
Well, because she saved my life. Tammy saved my life.
What you mean? What you
man.
mean? Tell me about that.
Okay, so are we rolling? You ready to get down?
Yeah, we're rolling.
Let's get it in. Let's get it in, boo. Is that I think that when a man allows a woman to be what God created her to be, that she is the key that unlocks purpose in him. And so he's able to fly when he humbles himself and submits to the gift inside of a woman that God created to unlock his purpose key. And Tammy was the type of woman that she was not a She was not a heavy-handed woman. She was not a woman that her goal was to always fight me. She was a woman that loved me back to life while at the same time establishing what her bar was. She never compromised on her bar, but she loved me to that bar. And then when you see the level of purpose that comes out of you, there's a gratitude that a man can have for a woman that was patient but did not compromise. And then when you were able to be who you were created to be, all you want to do is now sow back into her because you realize that everything that you are and everything that you have is because you submitted to that gift inside of her.
So what do you think it takes? I mean, we're rolling, but this is a real conversation. I just want you to know that.
Yeah, gotcha.
Because now I really want to know, like, what does it take in order for a man to do that, though? To lay his burdens down and let a woman be that for him without him being all macho.
And I love how you said lay his burdens down. I love that. That's super dope. You're such a church girl. I love it.
I know.
I love it. And I think that what we have to make a distinction is, because I want to say this with a lot of sensitivity, because I think that sometimes we have thrown the words out, Christian and God and Jesus, and they become monosyllabic. They're just terms that you throw away that really have no really definitive meaning. And so when I'm talking about a man that has chosen to live a vertical life, I mean a man that has submitted to that. Not just a man that uses it just as a term. Oh, man, yeah, man, I love God, man. It's like, I love God. I'm a Christian. Yeah. I'm talking about a man that is pursuing the fruits of what that life looks like. He is pursuing not to just pay his tithes and get cute after church to go to brunch, you know what I mean? And say grace, and say grace at the table. And, God, we thank you for this food. Turn up, let's get lit. But I'm talking about a man that you smell the fragrance of his pursuit. Does that make sense?
Yes, that is a difference. There is a difference.
Yeah. And so for me personally, for Kirk, a long time ago, my faith became the premier lexicon of who I was. Like, it became the status of my heart. Far from perfect. Still got a long way to go. But it became my race. That became my chase. Yeah. I began to chase that. And as I chased, I changed.
Yeah. Come on. That is so true. It's not even just for a man, but I think it's more prevalent for a man. But I know that for me, especially in my last situation, I mean, I felt like I've always, like you said, I'm a church girl, and I felt like I've always, kind of been close to God. But like now, he's like my homeboy.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
So it's different. It's different. So like, I know exactly what you mean when, it's not just about the front of God. It's like, he really is in my life now. So now I've definitely changed, and I can see and I can appreciate a good person when it comes into my life. It's a difference than liking somebody and then somebody really being placed in your life. And that like is different. Yes.
And you can't save him.
Yeah.
You can't save him. You can't save him. He has to make that decision.
That change for himself.
That is a personal decision. Now, you can support him. You can let him know what the standard is. You can pray for him. But you have to establish, like Tammy would never let me date her for years. Tammy wasn't going to do that. No, Tammy wasn't going to do that. Tammy was the kind of woman that I knew that it was going to be wifey, or I was going to have to let her be about her life. That it wasn't going to be no long day. Yeah, just because she reeked of a standard. And I think that women deserve and are worthy of understanding that they are the creators of creation. And so when you understand that type of power, you've got to be able to create some barriers to protect that, because that's a very powerful thing. A very powerful thing. That
us women, we don't want to do that. Let me tell you why we don't want to do that.
Teach me. School me.
Okay, no, I mean, I'm just saying, like, most women, we don't want to do that because, like, we feel like once we found somebody that we love or comfortable with, we kind of lower our standards, and we do be with them longer than what we should, and we don't make them marry us. You know what I mean? We do let them date us for 2 or 3 years, which I think is a long time. You know what I'm saying? Because it's really, so I'm single at 43, and it's nothing out here.
Really?
It's nothing out out here. Like, I'm single, because it's nothing out here.
Amazing.
So people feel like, especially women feel like, once they find somebody that they're comfortable with, they just hold on instead of holding on to God's unchanging hand. They hold on to that.
Did they hold on to the wrong hand? They holding on to the wrong hand.
To the wrong hand.
And I do want to make sure that I'm being sensitive to the fact that I understand the weight of loneliness, and I understand the struggle of what loneliness brings, and I can totally get that. I am just only saying is that there is a decision that has to be made, that the luggage of loneliness is a lot lighter than the luggage of a bad relationship. Because the luggage of loneliness is carry-on luggage. But the luggage of relationship luggage, you got to check that stuff in. That stuff you got to get there earlier, check it in, wait at baggage claim. Sometimes they get lost. You got to go pick it up. You know what I mean? But when you single, it's luggage, but it's luggage you can throw over the seat. You know what I'm saying? You throw them seat because you understand that you are at least worthy to be on the flight.
Yeah. Word. That is a word, and you ministering to me today.
Wow.
But you're right. Oh my God. I would rather continue to heal and work on myself and have my baggage fit underneath the seat that's in front of me instead of, checking my bag and taking the chance for my bag to be broken.
That's it.
How about that?
That's it.
Yeah.
That's a good word. That's a super dope word. So now you feel me. You feel me though.
I do.
Yeah.
I do. But we're in such a rush, like, to find that thing. You know what I mean? Yeah. How do you think people know when that special thing is here?
Well, I think that you said something also very significant. It's that people are in such a rush to find that thing because the self-work is harder.
Yeah.
It's like I can hide my brokenness in somebody else. You know what I mean? As I can hide myself, in dates and dinners and, little jump offs and, just the temporary, it's almost like, and I'm not saying that I'm against medication. I'm saying that a lot of times we're quick to do medicine than we are to do the deeper work. And sometimes the pills hide the deeper scars. And sometimes the deeper scars is therapy. It's changing lifestyle, changing life. And that is so much work. It's so much easier to get a prescription. It's so much easier to pop a pill because it don't take so much self-engagement, because the invasiveness and the intrusion it takes to be able to look deep at you, it is work and it is tiring, but the payoff. See, that's why you 41 still doing great things. I'm 51 years old. And it's because by the grace of God, we are fighting to want to do the deeper work. We stumble, we fall, we mess up, but we chase it. Yeah. We're chasing. Oh, you asked me, how do you know? How do you know? You know, because that's what healing reveals. It's like, it's so beautiful that as your scars begin to get a scab on it, you're able to see over the brokenness. It's like, it's as long as you're broken, the broken is what leads your narrative. If you're empty, the emptiness leads your narrative. But as you begin to do the spiritual healing, the personal healing, the financial healing, it's like those things begin to heal and you're able to see over it. Now you can say, oh, okay. And here's what's dope about it. Because the work was so deep and heavy to do, you're not willing to sacrifice to go back just because he got a chest, a shoulders, nice eyes, or he tall or whatever, or he little like me or whatever. You know what I'm saying? You're not willing to sacrifice all of that because the work it took just to get over that hump.
Ooh, that's so good. So good. Okay, but I got to get in your business a little bit.
Get in my business. Get in my business.
So, yes, because we talk about ourself in terms of our healing and, going to the next level of life, which is the greatness of it, right? So what kind of deep work have you had to do that you don't mind sharing?
Oh man, I'm very honored to say that, and I know this. That I was adopted, and so as I grew up with a lot of abandonment issues, I was told I wasn't wanted. I heard my biological mother say I didn't want him. So I grew up, yes, ma'am. I heard her.
How old were you?
I was 13 years old. I was 13 years old.
Shut up.
What happened was the lady that legally adopted me knew my mother. And so one night, but because I was a troubled adolescent kid, got in trouble because of all my issues, and she asked my biological mother to come pick me up for the weekend, and my biological mother did. First time I'd ever been with my biological mother. I would see my biological mother maybe once or twice every 2 years or something, a year or so. And so my biological mother and her new husband had got into a fight that night. So she brought me back home. And so my adopted mother, who was a much older woman, she was about 73 at this time, was like, what's the, and so my biological mother was like, listen, you know I didn't want no kids in the first place. You knew I wanted an abortion, but you wouldn't let me. And so I heard that. And so I lived with that rejection and abandonment. So being promiscuous was my love language, and I fell into that very deeply. I loved girls, trying to find my mama in each girl I dated. And I didn't discriminate. I date little girls, big girls. I mean, girl had me on a hip, I was just, I just love me some girls. I love it, love. But then what happened is that you create bad habits. There are bad habits, because I do believe that intimacy is a spiritual act. It's a spiritual act. And so you do develop the soul ties and spirits of the people that you lay with, because it is an act that also it's not just for pleasure. It's also to procreate. And so you're becoming one with somebody, right? And so when I started to see how it was impacting who I was, and then the rejection that I felt, I did not just want to be a Sunday Christian. It's like I saw the pastors having girlfriends on the side, and I saw the deacons smoking outside with cigarettes, and saw all this foolishness. And it's like, I didn't want to be that guy. Something intrinsically in me, me and you would call it the Holy Spirit, right? What didn't want me to fall into the same destruction that my daddy did, that my granddaddy was in prison for murder. I mean, my real daddy wasn't nothing in my life. So the bottom line is that my pursuit of not wanting to be like them, I had a wreck and I ran into Tammy. And so a great woman that loved God as well, and a past that had me broken, I wanted to be better. I wanted to be better for her. I wanted to be better for my son that I had at 17. And so not wanting to be like what I saw was my goal.
Y'all better listen here, because he got to work. What is that, 25 years? You guys been married for 25? Was that 25 years you guys just celebrated?
Last month, 25 years with the homie.
Yeah, Tammy and I are really good Instagram friends, just so you know.
I'm going to tell her you said hi. Now,
yes,
that's the California.
Now,
that's the California in you. That's the California.
That's the California talk.
Yeah, talk. That's the California talk. Yeah.
Yeah, tell her I said hi. Yeah, it's amazing how a man can just call out a woman like that. Like, if it wasn't for her, I would not be where I am. She saved me. Oh my gosh. It's so many men who are afraid to admit that. Why do you think that is?
Well, for a lot of us men of color, it's not an excuse, but I do think we have to have those deep conversations, Tamar. There is trauma in the Black and brown community that I think is going to take generations for us to recover from. You talk about being stripped from names and identities and values that we had to walk through, and even the faith that we subscribed to was weaponized against us. And so there's so much trauma in the church, out of the church, in our communities, out of our communities. And so when you have Black men that have had to fight through the reprogramming of our identities and understanding who we are and what we are. And if we do not have the fathers reaffirm what that truth is, we continue to spread that poison on our sisters and our children and our children's children. It's not an excuse, but there is a truth to acknowledge where the cancer starts. And so the cancer starts is that when you have a whole race of people that were forced to move their environments and not have equity in the place where they moved to, then you can almost kind of have a I don't give a damn attitude.
Right.
And so you fight through that. And so you find a beautiful Black queen. And if you don't reprogram that I don't give a damn attitude, she becomes a beneficiary of it. So
I'm fanning the air, everybody, because it's the word for me.
Yeah, man. And it's unfortunate, but I do believe, and I think you see it too, you're seeing more men on social media posting with their babies and, hugging their kids and walking with their kids. You see more Black men doing their little girl's hair and, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
All of these beautiful images of us as melanin kings and queens. I'm loving what I'm seeing. I just want to encourage people to also know that we're spiritual beings too. So no matter how much financial success we get, how much social success and academic success we get, at the end of the day, we have souls that have to be fed. And I believe, not religion, but a relationship, not with the weaponized version of Jesus Christ that was used for the colonization of our people. I'm talking about the true teachings of the gospel is what can get us to see that no matter how great I get, I'm nothing if you're not great with me.
Well, there's that on that. We're speaking to the contemporary gospel great, Kirk Franklin. Stay with us. Here's another podcast that you must listen to right now. Built to Last is a podcast by American Express that highlights the stories, history, and continued legacy of Black-owned small businesses that shape American culture. In honor of Black History Month, American Express is continuing to shine a light on these Black-owned businesses with the release of a special episode highlighting the first known coffee vendor in New Orleans in the 1800s and Sippin' Sonder, a community and well-being focused coffee shop in Inglewood, California. If you haven't already, check out the debut season of Built to Last and hear host Elaine Weatheroff explore how the Black business leaders of our past have inspired today's Black-owned small businesses. The season features small business owners like Pinky Cole of Atlanta food trucks turned restaurant Slutty Vegan, Anifa Muimba, a cutting-edge designer, and so many other amazing small business owners. Plus, there's a special check-in with modern-day Renaissance woman Issa Rae. As Built to Last uncovers and celebrates past and present stories of Black entrepreneurship in America, we hope to encourage all of our listeners to support these businesses and also the Black-owned businesses in your community. Check out the debut season of Built to Last on Spotify, Apple, YouTube, or wherever you get your favorite podcasts. Get empowered and take control of your love life with the guidance of live phone and online chat readings from Path Forward Psychics. From heartbreak to complicated relationships to single and looking for love, you can receive the answers, clarity, and direction you need from a supportive psychic who understands. Path Forward's intuitive psychics are exceptionally gifted and carefully screened. They guarantee their service, so if you're unhappy with your reading, you'll get your money back. Path Forward readings are completely private, so you can lay it all out there and get an objective opinion about your love life without fear of judgment. Their psychics specialize in all matters of the heart and are available 24/7. I'm so excited about having my first reading with Path Forward Psychics. It's been a long time since I've sat down and had a conversation with anyone for advice besides my therapist. But, when you're under construction, it's always a good thing to build a village to help you get where you need to go. Are you ready to take the next step? Get a love reading for just 83 cents per minute, and you'll get 3 minutes free. Go to pathforwardpsychics.com or call 1-855-866-1100 and mention the promo code Tamar to get started. That's pathforwardpsychics.com and use promo code Tamar, Tamar, to redeem this special introductory rate. You must be 18 years or older to have a psychic reading.
Hey, y'all. It is time for Season 8 of LeVar Burton Reads. Can you believe it? And this season, I'm sensing a theme. Individual acts in the face of big moral questions. Whether it's one being trying to help all of humanity break its cycles of destruction, an exasperated government employee figuring out how to deal with a racist old woman, or a professional thief who puts her heist skills to a more noble purpose. In all of these stories, it comes down to one person's choice. Season 8 of LeVar Burton Reads is out now. Listen in Stitcher, Apple, the SiriusXM app, or wherever you get your podcasts on.
We're back into the blueprint to continue our conversation with my good friend, Kirk Franklin. Coming from somebody who's had so much success, 16 Grammys?
Well, I stole 4 of them because what happened is when people go, as I go to the Grammys and when people pee, I just go grab them line.
It's so silly. Is it 16? 16 and counting.
Yes, ma'am.
Grammys.
Yes, ma'am.
100,000 other awards. Okay. A singer-songwriter, a father, an amazing husband. What do you think your greatest achievement is?
Not being like my daddy.
That's heavy.
Yeah, that's why we had to let it breathe. That's why we had to let it breathe. One of my greatest moments was working with you when you were a young singer. It was one of the greatest opportunities for me. It was over 20 years ago, and this big old bright-eyed young girl came into the studio. I was working on that Kingdom Come soundtrack for a movie, and you came in, and your sister Tony and came through to support you. And when I heard your voice and when I felt you, I just saw you. I mean, you had these big old eyes and this big old smile, and I was like, oh yeah, she's something special. That was a very special moment for me. That was
Why?
Because I got a chance to see a star in the making. I got a chance to see a star in the making. I was there. I was there at the beginning of your career.
Yeah, you were.
Like,
you know what? You were the first person that I've worked with that I actually truly respected and felt like this is a superstar that I'm working with. So the first superstar that I've worked with. And I remember being so scared. Wow. I was scared to sing in front of you.
So even though I was a church dude too, you were still scared?
Oh, it didn't matter to me. You're Kirk Franklin.
I thought that would have made you comfortable. I thought because we're from the same place. But I want you to know I was nervous too. I was nervous.
Were you?
Yes, man. You were, what, were you signed yet?
I was signed to DreamWorks.
You were signed to DreamWorks. I remember that.
Yeah.
And you were working with Tim and Bob, or about to work with Tim and Bob
at the time.
Yeah, I remember that. And I was nervous because it's like, I didn't want to embarrass myself. It's like I got this young diamond that's about to do. Oh yeah, and I just wanted you to know that, and I wanted your fans to know that was a big moment for me. As I was 29 years old, you were a teenager.
I was about
17.
I'm not that much.
17, 18 years old. Yeah. And I was 29. I was young, trying to figure it out. And I was honored. Thank you for being on that project. And you are a star. You are a star.
Thank you. That was a big moment for me. I mean, it was very embarrassing because I was, like I said, scared to sing in front of Kirk Franklin. Period.
Amazing.
Okay, so listen, I want to hear about this podcast and why you're doing it and what's up with it.
Well, I want you to know I never would have done it on my own. Sony Entertainment, RCA, RC Inspiration, they all approached me about a year ago and thought that I would be good for the format. Didn't know I would be. So we took a year to work on the architecture of it, the ideas, what was going to be the context of every conversation. And it's basically where faith collides with culture. And so we're having cultural icons discuss what faith means to them. Do they have faith? Did they have faith? Yeah. Who is God in their life? Are they on the pursuit? Testimonies and stories of how that's impacted their success, their struggles, how they are able to process what it means to even try to pursue that level of faith. It's still fun though. It's not all deep. It's silly, goofy, me. It's everything that we try to do. And it's called Good Words. The first episode is Pharrell. We've interviewed her, Kelly Rowland, Chance the Rapper, Glennon Doyle, Chris Paul, interviewing some really special people. There's some more people on deck that I'm really, really excited about. Yeah, it's called Good Words because we need. Don't
you love it?
We need good words.
We need good words.
We need good
and
words.
I think your podcast is going to be like humongous, like everything else, only because like what you brought to Under Construction today, like you always have an amazing word, but to have this every single week, we get to have Kirk Franklin every single week drop a word for real in our spirits. Are you kidding me? That's amazing.
I love your voice.
It's amazing.
Your voice is golden. Your voice is golden. I love it. And I want you to see behind me, Miss Tamar, this is my studio, so whenever you're ready to do some music.
I'm actually ready to do some music. I really am.
Well, whatever I can do to assist.
Okay. So in a recent article, you stated that we're living in an era where so many things compete for attention of our hearts. How important is it for us to keep our hearts protected? And how can we do that effectively? It's
when you have the clear understanding that you only get one. And that the work to recovery is such a long process that you've got to be able to count the cost of who you let in. It's almost like when we were kids, you remember this, Tamar, when you were kids and you had friends over and they wanted some water, mama would give you the red cups. But mama had some nice cups up in the cabinets, but they were always up high because she didn't want us little kids to tear their stuff up. And so when it was time to play, she'd give you the little cheap cups, but she saved the good cups for special events. That's how you have to do your heart. You have to do your heart like that. You can't do your heart like a solo cup. And so if you live with your life with your heart easily accessible, then it'll never be special.
Everybody don't get the good cup. Oh my God.
Everybody
That's
don't.
so amazing.
Everybody don't.
Yeah, because, when you're single and that lonely thing that we talked about, it's like we are so ready to give people the good china.
So quick. And grandmama would put a belt on you. And so you gotta be like grandmama about your heart. Yeah.
It's a word. See, that's why you got a podcast. I'm telling you, it's going to be amazing. I'm so excited for it. You get gems like that? Don't give people the china. Give them the solo cups. Duh. Okay, that's it. I can't even talk no more because I got to go outside and shout.
That is funny.
Oh my God, we give the most undeserving people the best of us.
Now that's a word. That is a word. That is a word. Even on a job, you got to fill out application. You can't just come in. Even if you got Harvard degrees and paperwork, you got to go through a process. And then not only that, they take you through this, when you sign up a job, what is it, like 30-day trial, 60-day trial? Yeah. But it's like for us, these broken people that we are, people get the VIP of our souls. They get the VIP line of our souls. Yes. And we've got to change that narrative of our hearts.
I mean, okay, good night. We're logging off. That's that for us.
I love it.
Okay.
I love it.
That's it right there.
I love it.
That's it.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
I ain't going to be sing along after that. All right, what would you say has been your greatest takeaway from our conversation, or what message would you like to leave with the people?
My biggest takeaway from this incredible conversation with you is that greatness has a price to it, and many people don't get a chance to cash in because they're not willing to do the work. But everybody has the capacity to do the work.
Yeah. Oh, that's so good. That's so good. Okay, how can people stay connected to you? What are your platforms?
They can just come to the house. Let's keep it old school. Let's keep it old school. They can follow me at Kirk Franklin on every platform, even MySpace. I think I'm on. Am I on MySpace? No.
You are not on MySpace. And ain't nobody coming to the house. We saw the Instagram how you put your children out.
Yeah, man. I put them out, Ma. I'm going so I can walk around in my drawers with one sock on.
That is hilarious. Well, thank you, Kurt. I really appreciate it.
Thank you. It is an honor and very, very, very proud of you again. You're a star.
Well, I love you.
And I love you too, man. Thank you for letting me be on your platform. And they can check out the podcast everywhere. And I'm so excited about Good Words. And thank you so much for this opportunity.
All right, everybody. Kirk Franklin. Yo, this conversation, baby. Whew! It has been so healing to me, okay? I needed that. It always makes me feel so good to hear a man share his truth and give recognition to the woman in his life. Child, that was a whole word for me. And if you would like to check out his podcast, Good Words with Kirk Franklin, it is available now on your favorite podcast platform. I know I'm going to be checking that thing out because that one had a word all over him. Won't he do it? Well, ladies and gentlemen, guess what? That's all I got for y'all this week. But I promise to have another amazing show ready for you to tune into next week. And if you would like to share your under construction journey with me, your girl Tamar, all you have to do is shoot me an email to ucwithtamar@gmail.com. That's the letters ucwithtamar@gmail.com. And if no one else tells you, remember this. I love you. And I mean it. Because we're all under construction together. Bye. Under Construction is a production of Mosauce, a Stitcher brand. It's produced by Angel Lavitz. Our recording engineer and sound designer is Rashad Smith. Our executive producer is T Square. Music provided by Radio and Audio Everywhere Company.